Shri ma'am.
Yeah, so let us start with the probability. Okay, so a little bit of introduction. Some students are entering. Okay. A little bit of introduction already we had in the last session. So what is probability? Let us try to understand. Uh, let us try to understand what is probability. So if you see the basic definition or the formal definition of probability is it is probability of an event. What is probability? Rather than definition, let us try to understand probability. What is it? What it is, right? So probability is a chance of occurrence, right? Probability is chance of occurrence of an event. Okay, what is the, suppose I say, what is the event that there will be rainfall today, right? I say that 50% is the chance that the rainfall will occur. So that this is called the probability, where we express the likelihoodness of the occurrence of an event, right? Similarly, now more the probability value ranges between 0 and 1. More it is towards 1, the more is the probability. So chances of occurrence is more. Suppose I say 80% is the chance that it will rain today, right? So if I say 80% is the chance, that means it is towards the 1.8 is the probability, right? And if I say 20% is the chance, so probability is towards is 0.2, it's towards 1. And suppose if I say probability is 0, that means there is no chance that the rain will occur today. So now how to define the probability, right? So let me share the slide. Yeah, so hope you can see my slides. Okay, so if you see, hope my slide is visible now.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So a probability is a measure of the likelihood that an event in the future will happen, right? So it can assume a value between 0 and 1. So more it is towards 1, more is the likelihood of the occurrence, less and more it is towards 0, inclines towards 0, that means 0.1, 0.2, then more is less is the likelihood of occurrence. So a value near 0 means the event is not likely to happen. I say 10% is the chance that there will be rain, so very less chance. And a value near 1 means it is likely, right? Now let us come to the straightway come to the definition. This is the scale. You can just see the scale of probability. So generally, if it is 0.5, right? So yesterday we were discussing what is the probability if we toss a coin, then what is the probability that head will occur? It was 50%. If you remember, it was 1 by 2, right? So favorable. So basically it comes from the definition. It comes from the definition of probability, that number of favorable outcome divided by total number of outcomes. Okay. So some definition we need to know. Now for probability. First is experiment. So what is an experiment? We need to know. So tossing of a coin, okay, tossing of a die. Okay, if I want to see that how many board members are above the age of 60, so that is also a experiment, right? How many products are defective? Experiment. So experiment is the observation of some activity or the act of taking some measurement, right? Taking some observation of some activity or the act of taking some measurement. Just like tossing of a coin is an experiment, right? An outcome is the particular result of an experiment. What is the outcome, right? So it's a particular result. It's head or it is tail. Okay, that denotes that what is the outcome. Say occurrence of tail, that is a particular outcome. An event is the collection of one or more outcomes of an experiment. So when it is an event, when event is a collection of outcome, right? Event is a collection of outcome, right? So these are some formal definitions of probability: experiment, outcome, event. So in probability, always we try to define an event, right? Then it becomes very easy. Okay, we try to define an event, right? We try to define an outcome, right? So I will give you some example. Suppose rolling a die, right? Rolling a die, it's an experiment. Rolling a die is an experiment. All possible outcomes. What can happen if I roll a die? I can get one. Okay, while you play Ludo, you will see it can come one, it can come two, it can come three. So how many outcomes are there? Possible outcomes? Six. Okay, these all we know, but I'm just revising the concept. Some possible events can be: observe an even number, 2, 4, 6. Some possible events, right? So you understand what is experiment: rolling a die, tossing a coin, okay, counting the number of board members of directors of Fortune 500 companies who are over 60 years of age. Now all possible outcomes, okay, all possible outcomes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 can be the, there cannot be any other option other than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Either it will come 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. Okay. Now some possible events: observe an even number, observe a number greater than 4, right? Suppose if I ask you, what is the probability that when we toss a coin, what is the probability that greater than number 4 will occur? What will be the probability? Yes, can you tell me? Yes, anyone?
1/3.
Yes. Observe a number greater than 4. That means what other number can happen? 5
5,
and
6,
6. So how many outcomes?
2,
2. So what is my total outcome?
6.
6. So 1/3. Very good. Suppose I ask you, what is the probability that an even number will occur when we toss a die? What is the
1/2.
probability?
1/2.
1/2. So what can happen? 2, 4, 6. So what is my favorable outcome? How many are favorable? 3.
3.
What is the total outcome?
6.
6.
Got my point? Getting the idea, right? But we will go higher advance. We will go to higher concepts of probability. These are very basic that we have studied until now, but we have some, we will discuss that. Okay, so what is the definition? How can we define? So classical probability, it is called classical probability of an event. Classical probability of an event is number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of possible outcomes. Okay. this is called the classical probability of an event, or this is the, you know, very important definition, one of the very important definition of probability. So number of favorable outcomes by total number of possible outcomes. Now, yeah, now let me tell you, there are three theorems. There are two rules, one theorem that we will study in whole of probability. We will study two rules, one theorem. Okay. So first is rule of addition, second rule of multiplication, third Bayes theorem. Okay. So Bayes theorem today I will not. I will try for addition theorem and multiplication theorem. Bayes theorem we can, if time permits, we can take. Otherwise, we can. So addition theorem. So now to understand this addition rule of addition, okay, we have to understand some definition. We have to understand some definitions. Okay. So let me tell you which are the definitions we will require. Yeah. So first of all, we will require, we will require this one. All of you can see this. Events, you need to understand this, right? To understand addition theorem, theory of addition in probability. So events are mutually exclusive. Two events are said to be mutually exclusive if the occurrence of any one event means that none of the others can occur at the same time. Suppose I toss a coin, only head can occur or only tail can occur. It's not that both head and tail can occur at the same time, right? So this is an example of mutually exclusive event. I give you another example. Suppose I go to the production department of Maruti or the quality control department, and suppose I choose a car. Okay. Quality control department, suppose I don't know which one is the defective or which one is the non-defective. Okay. So if I choose any one of the car will be either a defective or a non-defective. It cannot be both at the same time, right? Suppose I want to choose the CR of this class and I want to choose only one, right? So the CR will be either a male student or a female student, right? That will be mutually exclusive, right? Getting my point? So what is mutually exclusive? So this is very important. You have to understand. If you understand this, you will understand addition theorem in 2-3 minutes, right? So events are mutually exclusive if the occurrence of one event, of any one event, means that none of the others can occur at the same time. Okay, a car cannot be defective as well as non-defective. Okay, a flight will be either on time or late. Two events can occur. It cannot be both late and on time on the same, are you getting all the phenomenons I am
Yes, sir.
giving you, so that you understand all? See, probability is very easy if you understand but you have to understand these definitions very well. If you understand this, it will not, easiest chapter is probability. But if you actually you have to understand this, right? So what is mutually exclusive events? Again, I will explain whenever I will take some problem. I will explain, but just for the time being, when one occur, the other does not or cannot occur. That is called mutually exclusive. Fine. Mutually exclusive. Now, collectively exhaustive is very simple. Events are collectively exhaustive if at least one of the events must occur when an experiment is conducted. If I toss a coin, either head or tail will come. एक तो कुछ तो एक होगा ही. That is called collectively exhaustive. If I throw a die, either one will come or two will come or three will come or four will come or five will come or six will come. कुछ तो एक होगा ही. If I throw a, that is called collectively exhaustive, right? So events are collectively exhaustive if at least one of the events must occur when an experiment is conducted. Okay, so mutually exclusive, collectively exhaustive. Yeah, law of large number we don't. Yeah, now we can go to rule of addition. Okay, now rule of addition. So we need to understand the rule of addition. So I think the basics of probability is clear. What is probability? What is the definition of probability? How to calculate probability? Okay, and say what is mutually exclusive events? Okay, and then collectively exhaustive events. There is another very important term I will take later on. That is independent and dependent events. Okay, that is also very important. Okay, so let me start with rule of addition. We can start now. Okay. So rule of addition, again, there are two rules. There are two rules. Try to understand. One is called spatial rule of addition. Another is called general rule of addition. Rule of addition is again two types, two category. One is spatial rule of addition, another is general rule of addition. Okay. Now you have to understand the spatial rule. See what it is said. Read each one of the line. If two events A and B are mutually exclusive, the probability of one or the other events occurring equals the sum of their probability. That means P we write in this fashion. See, those who are very new, suppose probability of an event A, we write in this fashion. Probability of A. Say probability of head, that the head will occur. So I call the event A as the occurrence of head when I toss a coin. So that is my probability P within bracket A. What does this mean? This means probability of occurrence of head when we toss a coin. Okay, these are now the symbols are also starting. So we have to also learn the symbols. So in symbol, how do we write this? Probability of A or B. What does this means? P, A or B? Probability that either A occur or B occur is equal to probability of A plus probability of B. Now see, if the two events are mutually exclusive, what does this mean? See that this set theory, we know there is C, event A occurs and event B occurs. There is no interlapping. I give an example. Suppose event is my event. In this class, there are 60 students, say. So, out of these 60 students, say some students no singing, right? And out of these 60 students, some students, listen carefully, some students know dancing, and there is no student who know both singing and dancing. Listen me again carefully. Listen me. In the 60 students, there are some students who know singing, which I call as event A. Right? I define some event A. What is my event A? Students who know singing. Event B, I call some event students who know dancing. And in this class, suppose there is no students who know both singing and dancing. That means the two event, students who know singing and students who know dancing, there is no overlapping between them, and there is no any student who know both singing and dancing. So what is my rule of addition says, if two events A and B are mutually exclusive, no student knowing both singing and dancing, the probability of one or the other events occurring equals the sum of their probability. So if I, in my example term, if I read this, just read in my example term, probability, read here, probability of the students, probability of the events that the student know either singing or dancing is equal to probability of the students who know singing plus, say I call A, yeah, I have called as singing, B I have called as dancing. So probability of A plus, that means probability of the students who know singing plus probability of the students who know dancing. Now I say they are, now look at my second example. There are some students who know singing. Again, I call it as A. Please listen very carefully. This is the fundamental concept of probability. Dancing, this is called dancing. But look here. There are some students which I have, highlighted. They know both singing and dancing. Now in this case, all of you, please look here. Now I am telling the general rule of addition. If A and B are, if A and B are two events that are not mutually exclusive, then P, A or B is given by the following formula. P, A or B is equal to P, A plus P, B minus P, A and B. Let us try to understand in terms of our class. So there are some students who know singing. There are some students who know dancing. But there are some students in this case who know both singing and dancing. So what will be my probability of the event that students know singing or dancing is probability that the student knows singing plus the probability that the student know dancing minus C. In this PA plus PB, I have double counted. I have double counted this area, isn't it so? I told PA plus, please look at my cursor, plus PB. Haven't I? This area is common for me, and these are the students who know singing and dancing. I have double counted, so I have to minus one time. So minus P, A and B. Now tell me if it is clear or not. Rule of addition and general rule of addition. Any question? Yes. Is it clear?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear? Right. So see, now whenever I will give you, we will do one problem. First, we will see number one, whether the events are mutually exclusive or not. Okay. If two events are mutually exclusive, we will apply rule of addition. If they are not mutually exclusive means overlapping hai. Okay, itna you remember this much. not mutually exclusive means overlapping hai or right. So this much you remember. So if two events are mutually exclusive, we'll use the rule of addition. If two events are not mutually exclusive, we'll use the rule of general rule of addition. Right. So let us do one problem now. Let us do one small problem. So all of you look at my slide. Yeah, those of you don't play cards, they are in a pack of cards. There are total 52 cards, right? Total 52 cards are there. So see my problem. Read this problem for 1 minute. Okay, have you gone through the question? Just the question. I will explain the problem.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now see, what is the probability that a card chosen at random, right, from the standard deck of cards? A standard deck of cards. Who is this? Brenda entering. Okay. Standard deck of cards will be either a king or a heart. Just let me read once again. What is the probability that a card chosen at random from a standard deck of 52 cards, okay, there are 52 cards, will be either a king or a. Now if you see, there are 4 king in a card, 52 cards, 13 hearts are there, and king of hearts. That means there is one card where there is overlapping. That means the symbol of king and the heart, right? So there is overlapping. Now tell me, which rule are we going to use if there is overlapping?
General rule of
General rule of
addition.
addition.
General rule. Excellent. What is my general rule? P, A or B is equal to PA plus PB minus PA. And now we define the event. We just define the event for our convenience. So we define the event that PA, okay, probability that a king will occur. How many kings are there? Are 4 kings. So what will be the probability? 4 by 52. Okay. Heart, there are 13 hearts in a pack of cards. So what will be the probability that it will be a heart? PB. What is the probability? 13 divided by 52. Huh. But king of heart is only one. So P, A and B, right? King of heart is only one. So what is that? P, A and now we have to calculate. P, A or B. Probability that what is, you can see here, either a king or a heart. Okay, so we need to calculate probability of the event that either a king or a heart will occur. So what is our formula? Probability that a king will occur plus probability that a heart will occur minus the probability that a king of heart, or you can call king and heart, will occur. So we know everything. We know PA, we know PA, we know PB, we know PA, and so we can simply put the value. Okay, we can simply put the value. We can calculate the 16 by 52. So 30%, 30.77% is the chance that it will be either a king or a heart. Okay. So only, so whenever we are doing any problem, we will come up with some interesting problem in the dependent independent event, right? Only thing you have to understand, two basic understanding should be there. What I have seen, one is whether the events are mutually exclusive or not, number one. Number two, whether the events are dependent or independent. That is very, 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 very interesting and very, very important concept. Dependent event and independent event. Okay, I will come after this addition rule. So let us settle down with addition rule, then I will come to multiple rule of multiplication. Okay. Yeah. So complement rule, very simple. This is very simple. See, I say the occurrence of rain is, probability of occurrence of rain is 80%, right? 80%. Probability of occurrence of rain. So what will be the probability of not occurrence of rain?
20.
20. Very good. Very good. Very good. 20 not occurring. So not, if you see, this is written not. If you see this, just let me show you. So what the complement rule says? Complement rule is used to determine the probability of an event occurring by subtracting the probability of the event not occurring from 1. Are you getting this language? This line you read 2 times. Okay, read 2 times, you will understand. Are you getting this line? PA, I say 80% is the chance that rain will occur. I say 80% is the chance that rain will occur. So what will be the chance? So that is 0.8. 0.8. So what will be my probability of occurrence, not occurrence of rain? Not. This sign, this tilde. This is called tilde. You can see in your computer also. The left, in the second row, the leftmost character is called tilde. T-I-L-D, tilde. Okay. So this is used as not in probability. As I told you, probability has a language. So PA is probability of occurrence. P tilde A. Sorry, tilde A is probability of not occurrence of A. Are you getting me?
Yes,
So this to sum will be 100%. This to sum will be 100%. Probability of occurrence of A plus probability of not occurrence of A is equal 1. Okay. So this is a simple rule which is called complement rule, right? Very simple, which comes from our common sense, but it comes from here. It comes from here. Okay. Now we have to concentrate on what? Yeah, multiplication, but this is a bit complex, so we need to understand some. This is fine. But before coming to this, a very, yeah, any question, addition rule, please tell me, rule of addition, any question here, all of you. Is it clear? The terms, there are some terms, there are events, there are, which you have to understand. Mutually exclusive event, collectively exhaustive events, okay. Joint occurrence, इसमें एक term already आ गया, अभी मैंने explain नहीं किया ठीक तरह से. P, A and B, joint occurrence, right? So वो एक बार हम, let us see that what is joint occurrence. Yeah, joint probability. What is joint probability? This is not so difficult to understand. Dependent independent events we have to. Joint probability, what is it? A probability that measures the likelihood two or more events will occur concurrently. My students in this class who know both singing and dancing, singing भी आता है, dancing भी आता है, two events एक साथ हो रहा है. That is called the probability, joint probability. Students को dancing भी आता है, singing भी आता है, right? This is called joint occur. So what is joint probability? What is joint probability? A probability that measures the likelihood two or more events will happen concurrently at the same time. The student know both dancing and singing. Okay. Now we are entering a bit difficult zone. Okay. Any question till now? Please ask. Then I will enter some difficult zone. Any query? Yes. Yes. Please ask any query. Rule of addition is clear? Rule of addition?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If I get a few yes, I can proceed. Okay. So, okay. So next, this is a bit, let me tell you this. Now I am coming to multiplication rule. But before coming to multiplication rule a bit conceptual actually. You have to understand this very well. Otherwise, yeah. See, I left this and I told that I will take up later on. Yes. Yes. Can anybody tell me? Events are independent. You can read this line. Events are independent if the occurrence of one event does not affect the occurrence of another. That is the definition of independent events. Independent event, right? Can anyone give me one example of independent event? What is an independent event?
Tossing of a die.
Tossing of a die. Yeah. But see, to be independent, there should be two events, no?
Oh.
Okay. So you have seen the definition. Okay. If the occurrence of one event does not affect the occurrence of somebody writing something. Cricket and football. No, not like that. Picking out balls.
Sir, if we flip a coin in the air and get the outcome as head, then again if we flip the coin, but this time we get the outcome as tail. In both the cases, the occurrence of events is independent of each other.
Yes.
Can that be an example?
A bit correct. Yes. A bit correct. It is correct. Yes, you are correct. Right. Okay. So what he is? Who is this? Samo.
Sir, Abhishek.
What is your name?
Sir, Abhishek Yadav.
Abhishek. Yeah, Abhishek Yadav is correct. See, tossing of a coin is independent event. Suppose I toss a coin once. It may come head or tail. Again, I toss a coin. Head or tail. So I can call this as independent event. Okay. So, but I will give you an example where it will be, let me give you one example, right? Okay. Conditional probability. Okay. We will understand this both. Okay. What is and you have to understand this definition also. A conditional probability. What is conditional probability? Is the probability of a particular event occurring given that another event has occurred. And how do we write that? Given that T A, this is not division. This is not division. This sign in probability language is called given that. Now, from my example, I will explain you this, what is given that, right? So let us today learn this. Yes. I will be from my example. So first I will give you a physical example, then I will tell you this symbol, how to arrive at this one. So suppose in my fridge, there are 10 Coke bottles, right? 10 Coke bottles, out of which 3 are Diet Coke and 7 are normal Coke. Okay. 3 are diet and 7 are normal. So I first time draw. I draw first time. Okay. First draw. Okay. Draw 1. Now tell me, what is the probability that a Diet Coke will come in the first draw?
3 by 10.
Yes.
3 by 10.
3 by 10.
3 by 10. Yes. All of you are clear? Any doubt? Any doubt? Is this clear? In my fridge, there are 10 total Coke bottles. 3 are diet. That means less Diet Coke. That means less sugar content, and 7 are normal. That means normal sugar content. Okay. So I draw one, one bottle without seeing anything. Okay, I draw one. And what is the probability that the first one will be a diet is 3 by 10. Now I am left with 2. Okay, and what is my total? 9. Listen carefully. Now in my second draw, draw number 2. I say, what is the, now first let me write this, D2, given that D1. Hope you can see clearly. Okay, now I ask you a question. Okay, given that in the first draw, first I tell this and then given that in the first draw I got a Diet Coke. Okay, what is the probability that in the second draw also I will get a Diet Coke?
2 by
2
9.
by 9.
2 by 9.
2 by 9.
2 by
2 by
9.
9.
Very good. Now many things we discussed. We'll discuss many things, right? So first of all, actually see who is entering. Shinam, admit. Okay. See this one. So how do we write this? So what I have written here, can you see what I have told and what I have written? Is it matching? So D1, why I have written D1? See here I have written D1. That means in my first draw, it was a Diet Coke. Here what I have written in the second draw, D1, given that. So there is a time sequence also. Try to understand. Given that के right side में जो है वो पहले हो गया है. So this one, so that I am telling, given that the first Coke is a Diet Coke, what is the probability that the second one, so which one has occurred first, D1 or D2?
D1.
D1, very good. So there is a, try to understand, there is a time sequence. Given that D1 has occurred, what is the probability that the second Coke will also be a Diet 1? That is 2 by 9. Okay. Now I say, okay. So now my question is, given that the first one is a Diet Coke, what is the probability in the second draw it will be a normal Coke?
7 by 9.
7 by 9.
7 by
7 by
9.
9.
Sorry, a little bit different it will be actually. Okay, D1. Right, we get D1. Yeah. Or let us make it like this. Let us not take it like this. This is also conditional, but the more happening if we can take this. Suppose in the first one, normal Coke came. Okay. Then what is the probability that in the second one, Diet Coke will come? What is the probability?
3 by 9.
3 by 9.
3 by 9.
9.
Excellent. Excellent. Yes. Now it is fine. So see, is it clear? The first one, given that the first one was a normal Coke. So if my first one was a normal Coke, this will be 3 only after the first draw. Okay. So it will be 3 by 9. In the second one, the D2, given that N1 has occurred, what is the probability that the second one will be a Diet Coke? That is 3 by 9. Now see, these two events, this second draw, what is happening in the second draw? What is happening in the second draw is totally dependent on what has happened in the first draw. Are you getting me? Yes. What happened in the first draw? Kabhi 2 by 9 aa raha hai, kabhi 3 by 9 aa raha hai. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
Is
Yes,
it clear or not? These are called dependent events. So my second draw is dependent on my first draw. But coin tossing में case में क्या था? Some student told ना it is independent. It was independent. मैं चाहे 10 बार coin toss कर लूँ, it will be remain independent only, right? So this is called the dependent events. So my second draw is dependent on first draw. If in the first draw Diet Coke comes, my probability is 2 by 9. If in the first draw normal Coke comes, my probability of getting Diet Coke is 3 by 9. I hope this is clear. And conditional probability is clear. So now read what is conditional probability. Now read what is conditional probability. A conditional probability is the probability of a particular event occurring given that, please note this word, given that another event has occurred. How do we write in probability language? Like this. So P, A, given that, this is dash, this straight dash is called given that, it's not division. So A, given that, okay, B has occurred. So probability of event A, given that event B has occurred. Any question? Dependent, independent events and conditional probability. Please ask now. Any question? Try, just think of what it is there in the slide. Just have a look. If you understand this, probability is done, almost done. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if it is clear, let us do a problem. Let us study the rule. Now let us study the multiplication. Okay. Let us study the multiplication. Again, multiplication rule. There are two rules. One is spatial rule of multiplication. Two rules. One is called spatial rule of multiplication, requires that two events, now look here, two events A and B are independent. Okay, two events A and B are independent if the occurrence of one has no effect on the probability of the occurrence of the other. Then what will be my formula? P A and B is equal to PA into PB. Okay, again I repeat, probability of joint occurrence of A and B is equal to probability of A multiplied by probability of B. But this will happen when? Special rule will happen when the events are independent.
Independent.
Yes, yes. So see why probability is a bit difficult, because you have to understand from the problem whether it is a case of independency or dependency, right? Depending on that, you have to apply the rule. So that is my special rule. There is another rule which is called general rule. So what is my general rule? General rule says, look at my general rule. The general rule of multiplication is used to find the joint probability that two events will occur. Straightway, let me read this. Use the general rule of multiplication to find the joint probability of two events when the events, please note here, are not independent. Events are not independent. So general rule when we will use when we get dependent events. Okay. So it states that for two events A and B, the joint probability that both events will happen is found by multiplying the probability that event A will happen by the conditional probability of event B occurring given that A has occurred. This line is very big. Read it carefully. What it means is this rule. Okay. Probability of A and B in case of dependent event, dependent, not independent. That means PA, probability of A multiplied by probability of, what is this? B, given that A has occurred. You can write this as like this also. P अगर आप P B terms में लिख रहे हो P B into P A given that B has. Is it clear? Special rule and general rule of multiplication.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's clear.
Sir, can you show the special rule again?
Special rule, yes. ये पहले लिख लीजिए. Yeah, you can just any question on this general rule, please. Anyone? I hope
No,
this is
sir.
clear. This one.
Yes, sir.
This is clear. No, you are
Yes,
talking
sir.
about
This is clear.
special rule. Okay,
Special.
special rule. Special rule. Special rule कब होंगे? When the events are independent. Okay, I will give example of both independent and dependent. Already I have given, but we'll do one problem on independent. We'll do one problem on dependent. Two events A and B are independent if the occurrence of one has no effect on the probability of the occurrence of the other. So PA and B is equal to P simple multiplication. So you can remember like this: special rule, independent event, simple multiplication. General rule, dependent events, conditional probability multiplication. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Mind map करना पड़ेगा आपको. Okay. So if it is clear, let me do one problem. Now you have to apply. See, if you understand these things, you can do within 5 minutes, and we are left with 5 minutes. Okay. So this problem you have to solve now. Okay. I will solve this, but first I leave it on you. If you do this, your probability is 80% completed.
The golfer has 12 balls of many balls. Suppose 9 of these are
Someone need to unmute. All of you, please be muted when Not doing anything. Okay, so you have to. Yeah, anybody getting the answer? Already I have mentioned it's a general rule, okay? But you have to decide from the problem.
12 में से 9 है
Yes.
नाइन बाय टू में होता है
Read the problem carefully, okay?
और ये है उसका 8/11
Someone need to mute.
Someone, please
Someone-
mute yourself.
सॉरी
Mute yourself. Yeah, somebody is writing in the chat. 6/11. Yes, I think correct. I don't remember. Yes, it is 55% something. Yeah, very good. I think it is correct. 6. Vrinda. Vrinda 0.5. Ah, Vrinda is correct. It's 0.55. All of you got this? Tushar, Vishal,
No, sir, please explain this again.
Sanjeet, Shravoni, Sanyam, no, Sanyam, Vidhi. Many students have done very good. Shubhi Arora. Okay, have you got the problem? Okay, so I think many of you have done. So let me solve it. So again, see. So we have to write this way, right? See, event that the first, there were 12 shots, no? There were 12 shots, okay? How many white, how many blue? Let me see. 9 white, 3 blue. 9 white, 3 blue. Okay. All of you, please see if you have not done. See the event. Now tell me the event that the first shot select. Okay, let me tell you the problem also. So what is the problem all about? There are 12 golf shots. There are 12 golf shots in the, in the Almeida. Suppose 9 of these shots are white. 9 are white and 3 are blue. 3 are blue. He gets dressed in the dark. So he just grabs a shirt and puts it on. He plays golf 2 days in a row and does not do laundry. That means he without replacement. कोई replacement नहीं हुआ है. What is the likelihood? Question is, all of you listen here. What is the likelihood? Someone mute please. What is the likelihood both shots selected are white? Okay. So in both shots to be selected white, in the first draw I should get a white in the first day, and the second day I should also get a white. Is this clear? Yes?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now see. So in the first draw, draw one. What is the probability of getting a white shirt? I writers
9 by 12.
PW1. PW1. What is the probability? 9/12. इसमें तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, ठीक है. So one shirt gone, on one white shirt gone 8, another total gone 11. Clear? Is it clear? Any doubt till now? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, what does it say? The event that the second shirt selected is also white. I am writing W2 so that I can understand that in second draw, I got a white shirt. So what is the conditional probability that the second shirt selected is white, given that the first shirt selected is also white? What is the probability? So what will be my probability? P W2. Given that, what does this mean? First of all, tell me what I have written on the screen. What does this mean? Yes, Saurabh. Who is there? Anyone? What is PW2 given that W1? Given that in the first day I got a white shirt, what is the probability that I will also get a white shirt in the second day? Yes. What is the probability? See this from here we can say, na?
7/10.
No. Why 7/10? How many white shirts are there now?
8
8.
by
No?
11.
8 by
8, sir.
8.
8 by
by
11, sir.
11.
11.
Okay. Now, to determine the probability of 2 white shirts being selected, we use the formula joint probability. Probability that A and B occur jointly, that is equal to PA into PB, given that A, we are using that formula. So in my case, what it will be? PW1 and W2 is equal to PW1 into PW2, given that W1. So we know PW1.
सर टाइम थोड़ा देख लीजिएगा, नेक्स्ट क्लास के लिए कुछ करना है.
हाँ. Yes, 1 minute. Just W1 into PW2, given that W1. Okay. And so this is equal to 9/12 into 8/11. So how much? 0.5. Clear? All of you?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So we'll continue. Okay. We'll continue. This is a concept we need to again reiterate. So let us, we are done. Okay. So
Okay, sir.
yeah. So we can wind up for the day. Yeah. So yeah, we can wind up for the day. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
yeah, thanks to all.